Hello everybody, welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. I am your host Rusty Peace, and with the Thanksgiving holiday officially behind us, the Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's basketball teams are in the thick of their early season schedule. They're preparing to make their final run before the upcoming Christmas break, and that's all coming up here in the next few weeks here, both in the Turner Arena and of course on the road. Lady Railsplitters are 5-2 on the year, while the Railsplitters are now 7-0 on the season, and we'll be talking with both head coaches, Crystal Evans and Josh Schertz, in tonight's show. We've got some other information to tell you about for the upcoming weeks and much, much more as the Lincoln Memorial University basketball teams continue their trek throughout the 14-15 season. We'd like to remind you also to keep up to date on all that's going on with Lincoln Memorial University Athletics. Pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. All the latest scores, facts, statistics, player profiles, roster schedules, news releases, videos, and more. We're going to take this break, and we'll be back right after this on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
We have a big problem, and we need your help.
It's happening on college campuses, at bars, at parties, even in high schools.
It's happening to our sisters and our daughters,
our wives and our friends.
It's called sexual assault, and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up.
If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent, it's rape, it's assault.
It's a crime. It's wrong.
If I saw it happening, I was taught you have to do something about it.
If I saw it happening, I speak up.
If I saw it happening, I'd never blame her. I'd help her.
Because I don't want to be a part of the problem.
I want to be a part of the solution.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility.
It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
Hey everybody! Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile! Dang it.
To the invisible jet!
Dang it.
Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the 1st of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Crystal Evans, head coach of the Lady Railsplitters, joins us now. The LMU women at 5-2 on the year as they prepare for the backstretch of the first half of the schedule going into the holiday break. And of course, Coker this coming Saturday, then final exams, and that's going to be a tough week for the Lady Railsplitters in and of itself. Coach, here in the last week or so, it's been a couple of weeks since we had a show, but you know, we traveled to Queens, picked up a victory. We went to Anderson, unfortunately lost that one late, and then came back with back-to-back wins over both Lees McRae and Bluefield State.
Well, it's good to be home. Obviously, the girls are always seem to have fresh legs and always seem to have a little bit more of a calmness about them when we're at home. So, you know, this 5-game stretch is maybe exactly what we needed.
Well, this LMU women's basketball team has definitely put the life back in Lincoln Memorial University women's basketball. And I said this literally about every time we've had a pregame or a TV show. This team, Coach, could arguably be undefeated right now.
We could. And I believe the girls know that as well. There's some things, I mean, granted, you know, the teams that we've played thus far, they've all been great teams and very talented in their own right. However, you know, I felt like we made mistakes that were unforced. We had unforced turnovers, that sort of thing, that prevented us from getting the victory.
Of course, Lincoln Memorial's last 2 games were non-conference bouts, but one was a regional bout with Lees McRae. I know the game with Bluefield State on Monday you were particularly looking forward to because you knew they had a good inside presence. You wanted your team to be tested against a team that had a big inside game. And quite frankly, they had probably one of the better inside players that I've seen in women's basketball in a long time.
Oh, I agree. Hope Smith, 6'4", post kid. She's mobile. She can finish left. She can finish right. She had a free throw range area shot. Had nice touch on the ball. I really thought it would be a great challenge for us. And also, you know, I wanted that type of challenge before we do end up facing Newberry with the Haley Lapeo kid.
Haley Lapeo, one of the most prolific scorers inside in the South Atlantic Conference, very comparable to the young lady that played the center position for Bluefield on Monday. In what you've seen so far from your basketball team, what are your biggest concerns as we prepare to get back into the thick of the South Atlantic Conference schedule?
Well, again, I think we're playing really well for about 34 minutes to about, well, actually 32 to 34 minutes a game. And we just haven't really put the entire game together. And I'm hoping that, you know, we can put the 40 minutes together before we get into our conference games, those games that really matter. And, you know, I believe we're right there. We're right there.
Megan Pittman, a young lady that transferred in from, I think it was Coastal Carolina. She's a young lady who started to come into her own, and I see this team developing in terms of the individual roles that each player has to define before this team can have the success that we all hope they will have. Stephanie Smith, obviously her size, her abilities of catching and shooting down in the paint, just a tremendous asset. Katrina Otteson has started to come into her own out on the perimeter shooting for us, whether it be inside or outside the circle. But you're still doing a little bit of toying with the lineup here, particularly at the point position.
Well, Megan Pittman, she understands that her role is to not allow people to help post to post on Stephanie. If people are helping post to post on Stephanie, then Megan Pittman should be having a field day, and she has. She's had some games where they've collapsed post to post and she's dropped down to the opposite block and she's gotten a weak side rebound, or she's getting the dump down. And Megan Pittman also understands that her role is getting on the boards, and she's done a tremendous job at that.
Looking across the board, other people that have, I thought, have done a great job at defining their role. Courtney Cox is one that we selected as our Old Town Grill Player of the Game the other night, and I really feel like she has not only adjusted to where she typically doesn't get into early foul trouble anymore, she has started to find her niche offensively.
Yes, she has. She was a little bit of a bully the first couple of games and got into early foul trouble, no doubt about that. We've had to have numerous talks, but she is doing better and she's playing smarter. And I think Courtney's coming into her own. She understands that, you know, the importance, my priorities as a coach is rebounding, defense, then offense. So she understands that it's very important to me for her to go in there and rebound, and she does a great job at that. She gets on the boards offensively and defensively, and she's very effective at it.
At the point position, you've got three young ladies that are more than capable of running this team. You've gone back and forth with Kiara Rawls and Ross Mathis over the last couple of games. Brittany Guy is another young lady that can come in and potentially start for you. But any way it goes, you've got great firepower coming in off the bench from running that offense.
We do. Right now, we're just trying to kind of find that leader. You know, there's things that each one of them brings to the table, and it's different. However, I'm trying to find that complete package. You know, I feel like Ross is very controlled. She handles the ball well, and she takes care of the ball on offense very well. But I think Kiara, she is the one that gets out and denies and gives a little bit more of that defensive presence and things like that. And then Brittany Guy, you know, I think she can attack the basket, and then she can also knock down open, you know, three-pointers. And so they all bring something different. I'm just hoping to package it all together, and they can. And so once we get it all together, I feel like it's going to be a great thing.
Asia Lee is a young lady, as we've talked about a couple of times, been out the last couple of games due to a death in her family. But she's been coming in off the bench this season, and she has shown signs of picking up where she left off a year ago, but she really hadn't hit that stride yet offensively.
Well, I think, you know, Asia's trying to find her niche within the system as well. And I think she's, you know, coming along. Obviously, being out the past two games is a setback, but you know, I'm confident that she's going to do exactly what she needs to do with attacking the basket and rebounding for us, both defensively and offensively against Coker.
Let's talk about the Cobras this Saturday, or today actually. It is we're on the TV show now, but they're on Saturday. Obviously, that's going to be a tough one. Coker's a team that has had some success against the Lady Railsplitters over the last couple of years. Fortunately, this one's at home. This LMU team, I don't think is where we were a year ago or even the year before that. I think we're much better than that, both talent-wise, depth-wise. From a collective, I think we're better.
Well, now don't jinx us, don't jinx us. I think we're getting better and better all the time. I do think Coker is going to be a good matchup for us. Again, they've got some incredible shooters on their team, and their bread and butter is that three-point shooting. And it's just, we got to learn to defend. We're going to have to extend our defense out and be able to take away that three-point effort for them.
Three-pointers are, I guess, an asset that can either make or break a game for you. Our bread and butter is the inside game. Do you feel like with what we have inside, we should be able to exploit our size and our strength on the paint? I do.
I just feel like, and I've told my players this, I feel like with our post players, with Lakeisha Beasley and Josie Harding and Stephanie Smith, I feel like if they're guarded one-on-one and we were to enter the ball, I feel like they could score one-on-one against anybody. I mean, I have that much confidence in them, and I want our players to have that much confidence in them. And, if we can get them the ball and they're just literally one-on-one, I'm okay with that.
Most three-point shooting teams, typically the defending team doesn't want to get into a running game with them. Is this the type game we want to turn into in a half-court game?
We do. We definitely want to slow them down defensively when we want to pick up the shooters before they even get across half court. That's our not to tell too much, but that's a little bit of our game plan.
Without going into tremendous detail because of the HIPAA Act, we saw Sam Satterley go down on Monday night against Bluefield State. I know that looked to be like a knee injury. What's the extent of that right now, and will she be able to go today or on Saturday?
Well, right now she's seeing Dr. Perry, and we're trying to get more feedback with that. One thing about her, she's a tough player. And when she went down and started crying, with her, she has a very high pain tolerance. So, obviously that wasn't a good sign. But, I'm always believing in the best and at least hoping for the best. And I'd love to say that we're going to have her for Saturday. I don't believe that's going to be the case, but I'm hoping that we're going to get her back eventually.
Well, Coach, this team has the depth. You hate to see something like that happen, but they have the depth to persevere and to play through that, and hopefully they'll be able to pick up the slack where Satterley is out of the lineup. We want to wish you the best of luck on Saturday, and, of course, with final exams. Good luck all the way around.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Crystal Evans, the Lady Railsplitters. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk with Josh Schertz as the Lincoln Memorial men are undefeated at 7-0. That's coming up next here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet. Shoebox. Under the bed.
Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
You can be a hero by being prepared for an emergency. First, make a plan. Call a family meeting to plan for things like how to connect with loved ones after an emergency. There. Or your escape route.
I am not fast.
Build a kit. When disaster strikes, it's important to have enough supplies to last 3 days. And don't forget the batteries.
Low battery.
Number 3, know the facts. From blackouts to floods, no matter the emergency, the more you know about it, the better you can deal with it.
You're gonna need some upgrades.
Number 4, get involved. Lend a hand in your community to help others know their role in an emergency.
You guys, do you feel this? We're gonna be heroes!
You can be a hero by being prepared.
Yes!
Visit ready.gov/kids for more preparedness tips.
Welcome back to the show. Josh Schertz and the Railsplitters now 7-0 on the year and ranked number 10 by the latest NABC poll that was released Tuesday afternoon as they prepare for the Cobras from Coker this Saturday, and then of course final exams for the Railsplitters as well this coming week, as well as the annual RoHo shopping spree for the area's needy children, which they will take part in. Coach, a big week ahead for you and your team, and we've not had a show in a couple of weeks, so we've had a big stretch here in which we went on the road, picked up victories over Queens and Anderson, non-conference victory this past weekend over Tennessee Wesleyan, and most recently over Ohio Midwestern.
We did. We've won games, which I guess would be the positive. You know, obviously it's been good to you know, have some success. Obviously, long way for our team to go, but you know, obviously, hopefully you can improve and win while you improve is nice. But certainly we have some serious tests coming up, and certainly will be some truth for us here over the next 10 days with Coker and with a nationally ranked Newberry team getting ready to come in here as well following that. So some truth coming our guys' way, and hopefully we'll prepare and play better.
You and I have talked a number of times about this topic over the last few years, in terms of you're the kind of coach that likes to give your recruits and your guys time to develop. So you like to have that redshirt season under their belt. I'm the kind of guy that likes to have a lot of firepower. I like to have a lot of guns. This year it seems like we've got a little bit of both, the best of both worlds, if you will. And as a result of that, we've seen a number of different guys carry this team with the top scoring honors, the top rebounding honors on different nights. And I think that's definitely indicative of the depth of this team.
We have good depth. You know, I think I'd like to see you know, some more guys from a top-heavy standpoint, you know, kind of step up and put their print on. Until last night, I thought Luke Wan had you know, really been solid for us. Lorenza played well there offensively the last you know, 12 minutes last night. But you know, certainly we have a number of good players. I still think we have a lot of guys that can play better. But certainly I think you've seen early that, you know, a guy like Jarrell Simmons last night is very capable. Dorian Pinson's led us in rebounding. Emmanuel Terry's had moments. I mean, we have a lot of guys. You know, Keenan Peterson gets 22 on Saturday. You know, when Jarrell gets 22 last game, they were guys that, you know, were averaging, you know, maybe 6 or 7 points a game. So, yeah, I agree with you. Depth is important. We have good depth. We have a lot of good players. We just need more players playing to their capabilities, and we need to have a little better disposition as it relates to what we need to do to get better.
We talked with your assistant coach Cameron Wicker before the Tennessee Wesleyan game, as it was on a Saturday, and we didn't have a chance to pre-record that particular pregame show. That said, one of my questions to him was, what do we need to do in order to get Tim Pierce more involved with the offense and going to the capabilities we all know he has? He was not able to play in Wednesday night's game. What's the extent of that? Is he just out with an illness, or does he
no? He sprained his ankle in practice on Tuesday. It's a combination sprain and bone bruise. The hope is that he'll be able to be back for Saturday. I think we'll look at it today and see kind of where he is, and if he's not good today, then maybe he can go tomorrow. The hope is he can play Saturday, but I won't say there's anything definitive about that. You know, with Tim, really the biggest thing for Tim is it's really between his ears. You know, he's got to be more aggressive. Tim has to be more assertive and definitive. And I thought against Wesleyan he shot the ball pretty well. I think he had 3 or 4 threes, and as a guy that's, you know, we've talked about since he's been here, you know, super talented, but being aggressive is a part of it as well. And Tim just needs to be more aggressive inside of what we're doing, because he's as talented a guard as we have in terms of being able to shoot it, handle it, pass it, all the things you would need to be an offensive threat.
Your usual suspects in terms of leading us in scoring are obviously Laquan Choice and Lorenzo Ross, in that order in terms of the statistics this year. You already alluded to the fact that Ross got going about the last 12 minutes of the game and kind of wound up having the typical night for him scoring-wise. But I thought Lou early got off to a bad start with a couple of shots, and after that it almost seemed as though he was trying to shoot himself out of that slump and was forcing it a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't think his shots were bad. What concerned me about Lou's deal was that I thought he lost confidence. He didn't shoot the ball. His technique went away. You know, he missed his first 3 or 4, and the way they played us, the way Midwestern played us, is they basically didn't guard us on the perimeter, right? I mean, they sagged in and tried to take away the drive and tried to basically dare us to shoot threes, and we've got a good shooting team, but you can't, you're not going to shoot it well every night. But that was the biggest concern to me, and not just with Lou, but I thought with Jarrell too. Jarrell made 4 of his first 6, and then I thought Jarrell lost confidence. And those guys, not only did they not shoot the ball with good technique, they started turning down wide open shots. And then I couldn't play him because if you're not, if Lou's not going to shoot the ball when he's wide open, is not doing enough out there for us to play him. So there was definitely concerns, but I think he got off to a rough start. And shooting is a portion of the game. But I told the guys, law averages, he's not going to shoot 65% from 3 all year. It's just not possible. And we're not going to shoot 50% as a team from 3 all year. Also not possible. So, that's why you got to defend. That's why you got to rebound. That's why you got to be in tune with everything else that's going on, because you got to be able to absorb nights like last night and still have success. You do that with great defense, great rebounding, and doing the things, having an attention to detail, which, right now, we don't have.
Looking at all those individuals in that rotation, I mean, clearly they're defined as some of the guys that we look to carry the load offensively and defensively in certain cases. But I thought that there's been several individuals here over the last few weeks that have really come in and kind of embraced the role that they have on this team to help us have the success we've had. Among the top names that come to mind are guys like Curtis McMillian, C.J. Wakely, Dorian Pinson. I mean, they've all really come in and just kind of said, okay, this is my role, this is what I have to do very unselfishly, and gone out there and got the job done.
Yeah, no doubt. I thought C.J. really sparked us last night. We moved Dorian in the starting lineup, just to try to get some more scoring in there. Paul's been struggling to put the ball in the basket. C.J.'s come off the bench last night, I thought, and in the second half he was huge for us with Lou struggling and with Tim out. And I thought Curtis Webb was struggling. C.J. played the last 15 minutes and got the ball to the rim and made a bunch of tough plays, and he did the same thing at Queens, and C.J. kind of epitomizes what you're talking about. I think same thing, we look at Dorian and Curtis McMillian gave us really good minutes. We with KP, we took KP out just because we wanted to switch all 5 ball screens. We're struggling to guard the ball screen. We wanted to switch 5, and you couldn't with KP in the game. With Kurt at the 5, we could switch 1 through 5, and that was kind of how that went, and Kurt gave us 16 points and 8 rebounds and did a nice job of cleaning up some of the offensive misses there.
All right, you got Coker on Saturday. That's a big conference bout. They're a team that can definitely have some firepower against you. I know we've had a lot of success over them here in the last few years, but they're a team that really is somewhat dangerous depending on the night that they play. Above and beyond that, next week, final exams, if you will, comment on these in order. And then, of course, the Rojo shopping spree where your kids go over and give back to the community with a little help over there.
Well, I think Coker's a really dangerous game. They're 2-1 in the league. They beat Carson Newman at Carson Newman, lost to Newberry, who's nationally ranked by 2. In a really tough game, beat Queens. So, I mean, they're going to come in and Coach Macher's team is very tough, very physical, always is. So we're going to have to play very, very well to have a chance and play much better than we've been. In terms of finals, obviously you get down to the end of the semester, it's time for guys to knuckle down, and they balance all year being student athletes, and we got to kind of move our schedule around to help them. But certainly, we got to finish strong in the classroom. We take a lot of pride in our academic performance, and I think our guys do as well. So hopefully we'll have a good finish this semester. And as it relates to Rojo, I think it's one of the best days of the year to get in with kids, and our guys have a great platform being athletes here in the community, and a chance for us to give back to the community and help those in need is just a great opportunity. We get much more out of the day than the kids do, so we're excited to have the opportunity to participate in it again this year.
Coach, as a Rojo member, I want to personally extend my gratitude to you and your team, as well as the entire LMU Athletics Department, for your involvement in that event. It really means a lot to those children and makes for a great day. Coach, very quickly, touching on Saturday's matchup with Coker, the status of Tim Pierce going in that contest. Will he be in the lineup?
Depends on how practice goes today and tomorrow. If he's able to go full speed by Friday, then Tim will be in and likely be in the lineup, and obviously we'll see how he looks today.
Coach, good luck, and best of luck next week in final exams for your team.
Appreciate it, Russ. Thanks. And good luck in both.
All right. All right, we're going to take another timeout. When we come back, we've got a special announcement to make to you about one of the LMU family here, the LMU Athletics family to be exact. And we'll talk about that for just a minute, as well as the upcoming RoHo shopping spree for the area's needy children and what you can do if you'd like to be involved with that as well to help out with that particular cause. We'll take this time out and we'll be back. You're locked in to the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
At Citizens Bank, we're different from everyone else. We've proudly served business communities of Northeast Tennessee since 1912 and have security you can count on. We offer the convenience of internet banking, excellent loan services on various types of loans, cash management, and small business banking at all of our convenient locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, New Tazewell, Bean Station, and Morristown. Visit our website to find out more at citizensbanktn.com. Citizens Bank, no more banking as usual.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
From commercial to residential, from the basement to the attic, Knoxville Drywall can deliver full-service drywall, insulation, and paint contracting. Knoxville Drywall specializes in new and tenant build-outs, drywall repair, drywall grids, metal stud framing, acoustical ceilings, suspended drywall ceilings, and ceiling and wall texturing and painting. Knoxville Drywall also provides wall-blown insulation for existing walls, attic-blown insulation, wall and ceiling batts insulation, and crawlspace insulation. Knoxville Drywall Incorporated, serving Knoxville and the surrounding area for more than 56 years with outstanding quality and competitive pricing.
Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street Northeast, Knoxville.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. I want to remind you that Saturday's matchup with Coker, the women get underway at 1 o'clock. Pre-game coverage for that contest begins at 1:40. 2 o'clock tip-off, I beg your pardon, 2 o'clock. 1 o'clock, 1:40 pre-game. We can catch that on the LMU Sports Network. That'll be on 913thegap.com in terms of the audio portion, but on LMU Community TV. With a video, and of course on streaming video on the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. The men will carry over into the 4 o'clock game, and the Railsplitters also taking on Coker. We'll have the pregame with Josh Schertz in that particular outing, and we certainly hope that you'll join us either in the arena or on the broadcast on the LMU Sports Network. Last week, folks, tragically, right around the Thanksgiving holiday, LMU graduate assistant athletic trainer Selena Willoughby tragically died in a car accident up in Maryland, and she has been taken from the LMU family. Our thoughts go out to her family and friends for their loss, and of course to the loss of the LMU athletics family. And again, just a tragic occurrence. So we'll leave you on the show tonight as we say goodbye to one of the LMU family of the athletics department, Celia Willoughby.